Now's your chance. Thought we'd break down this fourth wall here, which doesn't come in the form of 300 comments on your internet web journal.
With me thinking about comments, it's really easy to just like leave the blog, and here we're pretty much.
You said blog, Randall.
Oh God, I did. That was a bad at the beginning that we could get through this entire panel without saying blog
or any four-letter word with B, L, or G.
Yeah.
No
I don't think they have to be in that order because someone could do the dictionary thing and find it. Are there four-letter words with B, L, and G? And
if anybody here has a dictionary, then that's just it's any Scrabble professional.
Well, no, there are other words, but we're wondering if there are any common words that we would have hit already. I mean, you just.
Apparently we haven't. So.
Yeah, you can cat user share through Perl, and I could write out this grep if we spend a little bit of time.
So besides your sites, what sites do you think everyone should visit more and why?
Oh. I spend most of my time on the internet. First of all, my computer really sucks. I don't play games. I really do kind of live on the internet when I'm on my computer. And I spend most of my time reading the news. I think it's very important to be connected with the world and your world and not just CNN and BBC, but also using community sites, because you can learn a whole lot from different community sites from different viewpoints and whatnot. So I would encourage somebody to find a community that best fits your interests and be active in that, participate in that, and also have a good idea of what's going on in your local community and the country and the world, really, because that's how you kind of further yourself as a person. That's important to me, at least.
And yeah.
This is a shout out to Max Goldberg, who couldn't be here today. He's the owner of YDMND, so I just lost my voice.
I've got a question for you guys. As a professor of the internet, I've written a book, as I am supposed to do as a professor, about free software and the history of free software. And there seems to be a connection here that everybody sort of circles around, because we know free software is important in some way to the history of where we are now with internet memes and communities and message boards and things like that. And I know that Randall's deeply schooled in many of the aspects of the history of this. So I'm wondering if any of you have a sense of what you might get from connecting more explicitly with that history and with the people who build and create free and open source software as precursors to whatever it is we're seeing now on the internet.
I mean, it's and I think that there are a lot of people now for whom 4chan is like a really foundational thing. Not so much the content, but just the sort of culture it creates and the connection with other people. And that the issue of free software can be divorced a little bit from geek culture in general, where we're doing more of our, you and I, and all of us are doing more of our actual, having an impact, that people are looking at our sites on either browser and it works fine, on any browser and it works fine. Yeah. But I think that when it comes to software development, I mean that in so many cases it's just a better model and it wins out because of that, and we can just sort of sit back and watch as that happens. There are a lot of places where there are important fights that need to be fought. Copyright desperately needs a lot of work, and there are great people who are doing work on this, and that's really a good thing that's worth plugging and supporting whenever. Everyone should always hear anything Lawrence Lessig has to say, for one thing.
I agree with what Randall said in terms of 4chan and free culture, because we don't own anything. It's all the users and it's all shared and freely, and But I must admit, we are a really bad example of free software, because, and I admit to this, that we took free software and we use it and we've made it proprietary and we haven't released that. All of our stuff now is in-house and it's proprietary. And 4chan's was directly birthed by software that was free, imageboard.php, and I wouldn't be here today without the Japanese programmer who would release 2chan making their code public. And we took that and we've done a whole lot. It was a mess when we started with it. It's even more of a mess now, and that's part of the reason why it's not public, because it's such a kind of patchwork. But I mean, again, I admit we're kind of bad example in terms of free software, and that we don't actually share what we've kind of improved upon. But other people have taken it upon themselves, where we've failed to make good, and there are a bunch of other alternatives now that people use to run image boards like Kerha and Wakaba and Kusaba, and the first ones I mentioned were kind of 2-chain emulators, and Kusaba is actually kind of a 4-chain emulator where they built in a lot of the features that we had added.
Yeah, well, I mean, and briefly, I think a key here, though, is that you don't want to create too much of a sense of moral responsibility when there isn't one, that free riders are not always bad for this.
I think we're running down to the end here, so let's take one and maybe two more questions if they're short, and wrap it up.
As a female, this question on the back channel intrigued me. To all panelists, describe your ideal woman. Is it Dream Girl or Pam from The Office or the crazy girl from Battlestar Galactica? I'm not sure.
Or
This is a very this is a very heteronormative question that it seems. But
Well, first of all, who says that we're interested in women?
Yeah, that's what it said. That is.
I totally missed it.
it's because I use this big heteronormative word, but I'm going to increase my stock here and say it's my girlfriend, Jen.
That's a lot of love for one panel. So let's say thanks. Thank you for the...
Didn't hear you.
Oh, you guys want to keep going here?
Your house tonight, ball pit. We'll see you there.
Ball pit. Oh, God, the ball pit again.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the sake of everybody here, yes.
I hate when I interrupt like that. Okay, thanks very much to our panel.